This video parable is set back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, 1980s, 1970s. I'm Melton, son of a carpenter, and Mary and Dad. Saturday night, said, son, come with me. I want to show you how to do something that's very important. And yes, this is a Sensio spirit. A parable. Remember, the Sensio spirit is kind of like TV, except you can walk around. It can be as small as a baseball, softball, as big as a house or a stadium. And in that Sensio spirit, we saw a whole bunch of people. Some kind of get together. And remember, Sensio spirits, you can interact with what goes on inside that Sensio spirit. Sometimes called angel vision. I guess in this particular parable, you might even call it devil vision. Or at least a just desserts kind of vision. And these two guys were particularly annoying among this group of folks. They were yelling and screaming at everyone, cussing, carrying on. And Dad said, watch this, son. And he walks up behind one of them, right behind the man on the outside of the Sensio spirit. Blue light Dad. I'm Melton, son of a carpenter and Mary. And yes, they called Dad blue light Dad because he always seemed to have a bluish light around him. It still does. But yeah, the son of a carpenter and Mary, Dad from 3809 blank says moved on back in 97. Anyway, Dad sits right behind him, stands right behind this guy, yelling and carrying on. And all of a sudden he stops. That loud, obnoxious guy, and he grabs his chest. And yeah, he falls to the floor.
Man, where are you going?
And Dad says, okay, son, you try it. And so I stepped up behind this other guy, the other loud, obnoxious, different from all the other folks in that, the Sensio spirit, that group of folks there. Stepped up behind him, and Dad gave me a little advice. He said, son, feel his heart, get in touch, now squeeze real tight. And sure enough, I was a natural. Guy grabs his chest and falls to the ground. We sat and stood and watched for a little while there. And Dad said, son, yeah, you need to know that as the son of a carpenter and Mary. I tell you, the look on those two Chinese fellas' faces as they loaded them up into the ambulance, it was priceless. I'm John Melton Brady. You know what my attention getting, son of a carpenter and Mary parables, and all of you out there who've had those things. Don't go blaming me and Dad. This is fiction. Girls walk through all those mean fictional hell on earth stuff and use the icebreaker. Let's start building those crash complexes. You know where the fiction ends? While you do that, after you do that, and before you do that, make a video hijack calls to John Melton Brady, 424-229-4140. And yes, call quickly to the hospital. I need to move. Burlington Convalescent Hospital. A lot of folks have made those videos of their hijacked attempts to talk to John Melton Brady. I've made them in front of folks even. Do that in front of those folks who work at the Burlington Convalescent Hospital. Ask them. I've tried calling. Hey, let me call the hospital. 213-381-5585. I'm certified mail there, 845 South Burlington Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90057. I can't reach John Melton Brady. What do you know about that? And call my phone as well, 424-229-4140. Demonstrate censorship to them. And yes, when those Latter-day Sainters, nice friendly looking folks, aren't they? Demonstrate religious censorship to them. That's their job. They're part of religion, aren't they? Well, I call them frauds of faith, but they're supposed to be part of religion. Demonstrate religious censorship to the Mormon missionaries. And yeah, ask him, what do you know about this? Why can't I reach John Melton Brady? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? What are you doing about that? Come see me. That's the way around censorship. Look for the guy with the imagery on his chair and his chest. And let's get started building those Christ complexes. Or at least tell me what you think of my funny parables and my imagery. But remember, make those Semper Fi videos. Oh yeah, mail your mayor, your governor, call them. Senator, police, reporters, anyone who should be concerned about dangerous censorship in America. A lot of those folks, it's their job to do something about it. Make a video of you calling me up. Send it to them. Say, why can't I reach this man? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? What are you doing about that? Include that in your Semper Fi video. Include that in your Semper Fi DVD. Your mail and calls to them are more likely to get through. Your calls to me are hijacked. That's terrorism. You don't know. That's our ride to the hospital, that phone. Those phones at that Burlington Convalescent Hospital. It's our lifeline to emergency rooms. That phone in your hand, they can't reach 424-229-4140. That's your lifeline to the firemen, the police, paramedics. Make a video of it whenever it's not allowed to work. Do the job reporters aren't doing. Pass it along. Yes, at church, at work, at school, on that military base. At your bed at bars, parties, campuses. Pass it along. Tell other Americans to do the same. And yes, come see John Melton Brady. We start building those Christ complexes. Religious censorship you experience when you call me up and can't reach me. That's part of it. We'll start building those Christ complexes right here. You'll know it's happening when you see the one and only someone other than me, my changing eyes. Yeah, my eyes are changing from brown to blue. Medical research being passed by along with Obama's censorship. Byproduct of it. Come see me, let's get started.